Welcome to Trump Wire, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. The pre-dawn quiet of a suburban cul-de-sac was shattered by the heavy thud of a fist on a wooden door. Sarah Jenkins, a single mother and registered gun owner, jolted awake, heart pounding as she peered through the blinds. Two federal agents stood on her porch. No warrant, just a directive. A new federal database had flagged her. Her online posts questioning government overreach, combined with a recent hunting rifle purchase, triggered an algorithm. They were there for a compliance check to temporarily secure her firearm. This was no longer dystopian fiction, it was reality for millions. The government, citing national security, now used technology to preemptively identify threats. The Digital Century Initiative blurred the line between public safety and private life, raising a fundamental question: where does government protection end and individual rights begin? For Sarah, this wasn't theory, it was a terrifying reality at her doorstep. The agents, polite but firm, explained that under new guidelines, reasonable suspicion from her digital footprint was enough. No judge, no warrant. The fear was immediate. Her home and property could be seized without due process. But the deeper fear was that her online thoughts could strip her of constitutional rights. This moment became a microcosm of a larger battle, one fought not with guns, but with legal arguments. The outcome would not just decide Sarah's fate, but redefine the relationship between citizen and state in a technological age. The durability of rights written centuries ago was about to be tested. To grasp the stakes, we must revisit the Bill of Rights, the rules that limit government power. At the center of this legal storm, the Second and Fourth Amendments. The Second protects the right to keep and bear arms, a safeguard against tyranny and crime. The Fourth guarantees privacy, shielding people from unreasonable searches and seizures. Law enforcement can't enter your home or take your property without a warrant from a judge, based on probable cause. These amendments are intertwined. One secures the means of defense, the other the sanctity of home. The Digital Century Initiative forced a collision, using the exercise of one right as a pretext to violate the other. This created a constitutional crisis only the Supreme Court could resolve. The founders' intent was clear: rights are not to be traded for convenience or suspicion. The question now: can technology rewrite those boundaries? The answer would shape the future of American liberty. The case that would test government power began with a wave of lawsuits from citizens targeted by the Digital Century Initiative. Mark Miller, a retired police officer, and Dr. Alicia Hayes, a history professor, became the faces of the fight. Both were law-abiding gun owners, flagged by a secret algorithm for warrantless compliance checks. Their cases merged into United States versus Miller and Hayes. Miller, a vocal Second Amendment advocate, was flagged for buying a handgun and his online posts. Hayes, a collector of historical firearms, was targeted for her research and society memberships. Both saw their rights violated by suspicion based on legal activity. Their legal team argued the initiative forced Americans to choose: exercise your Second Amendment right and risk losing your Fourth. The government, they said, cannot use legal gun ownership as the basis for warrantless searches. This path, they warned, led to a surveillance state. The case drew support from civil liberties groups across the spectrum. The debate was no longer just about guns, it was about whether technology could bypass the Constitution. The nation watched as the case headed to the Supreme Court. When United States versus Miller and Hayes reached the Supreme Court, the stakes were clear. The government argued that in a digital age, old standards were too slow. Algorithms were needed to prevent threats. They claimed the Digital Century Initiative was a reasonable, minimally invasive tool for public safety. Their lawyers insisted the algorithm weighed many factors, creating a new form of reasonable suspicion. Miller and Hayes' attorneys countered, the Constitution is not flexible. The Fourth Amendment's warrant requirement is the definition of reasonableness, placing a judge between citizen and state. Allowing algorithms to replace this check would demolish a cornerstone of freedom. They argued the program chilled the Second Amendment, making gun owners fear government watch lists. The government's approach, they said, was a high-tech version of the general warrants the founders rejected. The justices faced a choice: adapt the Constitution to technology or uphold its core protections. The Supreme Court issued a unanimous 9-0 decision for Miller and Hayes. The ruling was clear. The Digital Century Initiative violated the Fourth Amendment. Technological advancement, the court wrote, does not justify eroding fundamental rights. Warrantless entry into the home is presumptively unreasonable. An algorithm cannot replace a judge's determination. The warrant requirement is non-negotiable. The court also ruled that using one constitutional right to justify suspending another is inherently unconstitutional. The government cannot treat the exercise of a right as a symptom of crime. The decision affirmed that rights must coexist, not compete. The unanimity sent a powerful message. On core liberties, there's no room for debate. The ruling reasserted the Constitution's enduring power in the digital age. The Supreme Court's decision has immediate impact. The Digital Century Initiative and similar programs are halted. Law enforcement can no longer use algorithms or gun ownership alone to justify warrantless home searches. For gun owners, this means buying a firearm no longer puts you on a government watch list. The ruling separates legal gun ownership from suspicion of criminal intent, but the implications go further. This sets a precedent for digital privacy. Your online activity, from social media to search history, is now better protected from government surveillance. The government must have individualized suspicion, not just a computer-generated correlation. Activists, journalists, and ordinary citizens gain new protections. The decision reaffirms that your digital life, like your home, is shielded from unreasonable intrusion. Technology must serve liberty, not undermine it. United States versus Miller and Hayes stands with landmark Supreme Court cases that define the citizen-state relationship. It echoes Miranda v. Arizona, which protected the right against self-incrimination, and Katz v. United States, which extended privacy to new technologies. Miller and Hayes adapts the Fourth Amendment to the digital age, affirming that privacy isn't lost just because data is online. The unanimous decision draws comparisons to Brown v. Board of Education. Both sent a message of national consensus on fundamental rights. Unlike divisive rulings, Miller and Hayes unites the court and the country on core principles. It builds on the legacy of cases like Mapp v. Ohio, which barred illegally seized evidence. Now, suspicion generated by algorithms can't justify a search. The decision is a powerful reaffirmation. The government must play by the rules, especially with our most cherished freedoms. The Constitution adapts, but its core protections remain. Miller and Hayes is a new pillar in the defense of liberty. The Miller and Hayes decision is a victory for civil liberties, but new challenges loom. The ruling bans predictive algorithms for warrantless home searches, but technology's role in policing isn't over. Future battles will test how big data can be used to establish probable cause. Congress and state legislatures now face pressure to regulate government use of AI and data. Law enforcement may pivot to new surveillance methods, like third-party data brokers, creating fresh legal gray areas. The fight for digital privacy is ongoing, a continuous adaptation to new technology. The decision also impacts the tech industry, signaling legal risks for developing surveillance tools. It may spur innovation in privacy-preserving technologies and force a reckoning with tech companies' power. The door on government overreach is closed, but new questions have opened. The Supreme Court's 9-0 decision is more than a legal victory. It's a course correction for the nation. The court drew a firm line. Constitutional rights are not relics, but the bedrock of a free society. The ruling's unanimity elevates it to a statement of core national values, uniting justices across the spectrum. The right to be secure from government intrusion is not partisan, it's American. The decision reaffirms that the burden of proof is on the government, not the citizen. It rejects a future where algorithms preemptively judge us. The ruling protects all Americans, gun owners, activists, researchers, and ordinary citizens. As technology evolves, so must our protections. The Constitution still holds sway, and that's a reason to stand tall.